What's up, everybody? Yep, I notice your subscriber count goes down when you're waiting for everybody to join in. But once you talk shit, I guess everybody will come back. Anyway, for those of you who are new, which I doubt, greetings. I am Sergeant Charles Faulkner Jr. Thank you. Thank you. So hopefully we'll have a nice discussion if you like. Might even have a little panel going on. Thank you to my boy. Conversation earlier that I had with him about standards. And the black community is afraid of standards. I'm not going to lie to you. They're afraid of standards because we're held to them. Like someone said in the comment section, accountability. And if we don't have that accountability, we're not going to grow. Accountability is honesty with oneself, holding oneself to such standard, and also being not only rewarded, but also capable of being punished by it. It's incredibly funny how there's a lot of people out there who get upset with narratives, not because the narrative is untrue, it's because the narrative hits harder than what it's supposed to. And it also strikes closer. I asked my friend this one question. Not gonna lie to you, boy, you kind of didn't answer it. What is the average size? Well, he answered this one. I'll say this. Let me start off with that. When I asked him, what is the average size of black women in the black community? And he said around 14 to 16. And it's funny because that is a very large size. That is not average woman size. Shout out to St. Kevin. May he rest in peace, paradise, and power. When he said, think about it. The average man, excuse me, the average woman in our community is bigger than the females. Excuse me, the average females are bigger than the males in our community per height. If they're the same height, it's incredible. I live in Baltimore, where it's 70% black. You can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. When cities like mine are a good reference for black people and measurements because you have so much of a diversity of black people. So that diversity of black people, you can take a large amount of it and get a pretty accurate view. For the height, you take a guy that's 5'6" and a woman that's 5'6". In the black community, typically that woman's going to be heavier pound for pound. No one likes to make reference to this. Think about it. But we'll be shamed. We will be shamed if black men have any type of standard. If black men say we don't like this type of treatment. If black men say, hey, I want a woman that's a little bit fitter. If you date big girls, that's on you. That's on you. But as soon as you say anything about your weight, the look, the treatment, as soon as anything mentioned, there's a problem. And there's a one sided problem. Why is that? Because once you start holding people accountable, you got to hold them to the standards they can afford. And that's the issue. The standards they can afford. You can't be a woman that's 5'2" and 250 pounds expecting what somebody like Kelly Rowland would get from men, unless you work at being fitter, being feminine. And even during my friend's conversation, they said, well, I'm not ashamed of black women getting money and education. You've always had more education. You never made as much money. You still don't. Doesn't make it good or bad, but we're just talking about statistics. And people hate statistics because now you can put a number on it. People hate statistics because now there's a bit of a okay, you can't blame black men for their behavior for everything anymore. Like yesterday when I read out all the statistics about fatherless homes. If you manage to make your home a fatherless home, you really setting your kids up for failure. But if I say that in the black community, I'm wrong. But the statistics show differently. I'm wrong if I mention that certain numbers, if you're in a fatherless home, you're fucked. There's a good chance of you being fucked. Well, my mom, she did this, she did the best she could. But if you look at the standards in the black community, dad is never given the deference of mom. We'll blame the person not there and not the person who's there 99% of the time. Only in black America, baby. So they say. I just think the hypocrisy has to come out somewhere. Men don't really care about your education. They don't care about a woman's money as much as you think. That's a woman thing. What I think is really hilarious, shout out to Dr. Thunder in the building. What I think is hilarious is that when black men start to think highly of themselves, we're most often being told we ain't shit. That's what it goes. That's what it really boils down to. T, really, you're gonna have to come up here because when I use the height and weight grievances about black women, was that the example or was that the basis of my thesis? I'm gonna let you take some time to figure that one out, man. When I come to standards, remember, in the black community, the men are supposed to reach standards that the women don't have to adhere to themselves. Think about it. I want you to really think about it. When we have a standard, nobody really likes it. Nobody really wants to adhere to it. There's always got to be an excuse. There's always got to be fallout. You got to make a certain amount of money, but she doesn't have to be a certain weight. She doesn't have to be a certain level of kindness. She doesn't have to be a certain level of intellect. She doesn't have to be a certain level of drive, certain level of attentiveness to your needs. He asked me, what type of women did you have? I said, well, if you notice, majority of the girls I dealt with were from 130 to about 165. Average height, about 5'6", 5'7". About 5'5" to 5'7" on average. So, that being said, once we talk anything about a standard, people get offended because excellence is not one of the virtues in the black community. It is not. We don't strive for, if anything, if somebody does something well, we hate on them. We hate on them. If there's a level to be reached, we don't want to talk about it. I know. Stuff that other people would say in any other culture. I make my own money. You're supposed to. You're an adult. We allow other people to shame us for dumb shit, man. We allow other people to shame us for dumb shit. Yeah. This is part of the reason why I coined the phrase. Because I'm going to tell you, how many black men play the accomplice to their own destruction by being a garbage man? You know what you do to your fellow black man when you accept bullshit behavior? You're telling them all, this is what we all want and deserve. This is what you're basically saying. When you settle for poor treatment, this is what you're telling the world. They deserve this type of stand. They deserve this type of woman. They deserve this type of income outcome. Sorry, black men. You might get mad with me with this one, but because we've been taught in this culture to be thirsty, we fuck it up for the rest of us. We really do. We really do fuck it up for the rest of us. When I tell a black man to have a standard about himself, a lot of black men are phobic, even some of my close friends, because you're so much of a pussy hound, you'd rather be disrespected than to be valued. And look where that got you. Look what position that has gotten you. Serfdom? Conky serfdom? Constant vitriol? Disrespect? What happens when you say, I don't want this standard? Society's trying to force feed you Lizzo. Society's trying to force feed you to accept Sexy Red and respect her as June Cleaver. Well, let me stay black for a minute. Claire Huxtable. You're supposed to respect Sexy Red as a mother the same way you respect Claire Huxtable. That's today's standard. And the words of my man, so Lamar, excuse me, LeVar Burton, you ain't got to take my word for it. Everybody wants you to respect Sexy Red as a mother, an unwed mother who had a baby by a jailbird, the same way you respect Claire Huxtable. They want to give you the lowest of standards, but the highest of expectations. I'm going to say this again. Women only women only complain about equality when it's truly given. When that shit is truly given, that's when the complaints come out. You're not gonna you're not gonna have anything different from me? No. I'll treat you like every other guy. What happens when you can't play pussy politics anymore? I got a vagina. Well, baby, that's standard issue. What happens? What happens when you no longer want to take the abuse? What happens when you no longer want to take the abuse? Oh, you're not gonna let me shit on you? You're not gonna let me throw my money and degrees in your face? Well, you weak for not taking my abuse. Mm. Mm-mm. What happens? You're right, AB. Change your own goddamn tire. Yep, but she fat though. You could get a guy who's 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", 185 to 200 pounds, solid muscle. He's too short. He's not capable. This guy is an ox. This guy is probably a member of the U.S. Army Rangers, the Navy SEALs, capable. A guy with a PhD. A guy who has certifications in HVAC plumbing. Somebody who's capable. Great shape, great personality, treats you great. But because of that one thing, you can't go for him. But we're supposed to take women who are what? Obese, morbidly, with nasty, funky attitudes, a bunch of kids that are not yours, some of them living in substandard fucking housing. Not all, of course. But yet, when a dude says, hey, I want to be matched for what I'm matched, that's usually what doesn't go on fairly, right? And men are not asking for, you know, Kelly Rowland, Megan Good, Beyonce. I'm sorry. Me and my homeboy had another discussion. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's the one chick who played the girlfriend on Will Smith on Fresh Prince? Nia Long. Nia Long. I'm sorry. There was not one universe Nia Long looked better than Megan Good. Sorry. I don't care whose opinion it is. Never happened, never will. Especially not now. Good God. Hell no, not now. Oh man. What is your opinion? You think your opinion is fact? No, it's just she never did. And when you talk about white boy standards, if we're talking about most men means you're taking men out of every race, not just black ones. And see, just because you have an ass does not mean you have beauty. We need to stop that bullshit. This is the reason why your culture's fucked. This is the reason why your culture's fucked. This is the reason why your culture's fucked. You can't even tell the difference in levels of beauty. As long as a chick got an ass, like Cherokee, oh, let's say it. I'm going to say this, and I don't give a fuck who feels about it. There's a reason why there's some guys who chubby chase, as they used to call it, because that's the lane that a lot of dudes could go. There's a lot of dudes. There's a reason why a lot of dudes are insufferable, are with insufferable women, because you're scared to either one compete, or that's the best you think you could do, or the best you can do. Yeah, we got some guys who chase physically heavier or women or mean, aggressive ass women. But guess what? Like I told this one lady, she was like, "There's some guys who like bigger women, yeah, but those women don't like those guys who like them, typically." And do you know when people there's a such thing in relationships where people will treat you badly because they don't care too much about themselves. Well, if he likes me like this, I'm gonna treat him the same way I think about myself. Now, you should be with the person who gives you the most joy, who treats you the best, sure. But as soon as a black man say anything about a goddamn standard, and this is even by black men, as soon as he says anything about that, he's wrong. Because a lot of you men out there really think you're below women. And that's part of the cultural thought and speech that pussy should rule all. The same people, the same people who would teach their sons not to hit a female are the same people who would accept their sons being treated like shit. There, I said it. I fucking said it. You'll never teach your daughter to keep her hands to herself. Exactly. It's the best they can do, Charles. Meanwhile, the same fat bitch won't date big guys. Let's be, you would really think that black men would actually have a standard and say, I'm going to at least date something that matches me. But as soon as you have that standard, you too good for a mature woman. You too scared for an aggressive woman. You're not strong enough for a black woman. I'm not your goddamn lion tamer. My name ain't Chris Jericho. This ain't Barnum and Bailey. Sorry. Why should I take this bullshit? Once you, and then God forbid if you want to leave. God forbid you want to leave the situation. You try to leave the situation with the nasty bastard. What's the first thing she gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna call the cops. I'm gonna ruin your career. I'm gonna do this. I gotta be vengeful. How dare you not accept me? I got a pussy for God's sakes. But let's talk about the low tier standards that men are and have. You will accept anything, and then you wonder why you're not respected in life. That white man at the job laughs at you. Well, I don't care what he thinks. But yet you wonder why you're not getting that supervisor position. You wonder why you don't get that raise. Because you accept low tier behavior. If you get it from your woman, the whole world is gonna treat you the same way. I said this for many of years. How your woman views you is how the rest of the world views you. Now put that one in the chat. How your woman views you is how the rest of the world views you. But Negroes don't want to fucking adhere to that shit. They don't want to adhere to that. You wonder why you get treated certain ways. You wonder why. You put yourself on purposely the lowest of the totem pole. You don't demand anything back. But then you wonder why you walk around as the laughing stock of men. If you can't be respected at home, how the fuck are you going to be respected at work? If your home life's in shambles, how are you going to be successful in any other aspect? This is not even hating on black women. This is just telling the truth. If she doesn't respect you, why should anybody else? Why? Why are so many black men so interested in being with women that don't respect them? But then they get mad, and I mean furious. Fucking furious. When their friends like, can't be me. But then wondering why, when you see so many people in so many defeated situations, why you don't want to join them. Why don't you want to join me in this misery pool? Because I don't have to know. I don't have to find out if the stove is hot by touching it. If I see you with burn marks, if I see you with burn marks, I don't need to touch the stove. That's what I'm telling a bunch of young black men now. Learn from my mistakes, man. You don't have to go through your own fucking mistakes. Stop that dumb shit. I'm going to say it again for all the young men listening live and on the playback. Stop the dumb shit of going through your own fucking mistakes when you can see somebody 20 years ago made them so you can learn from them. Technology and knowledge is supposed to go forward, not backwards, you fucking fool. Stop it. Get help, like Michael Jordan used to say. Why not get help? Go seek wiser counsel. I've never understood that shit. You're afraid to go out there and be great, but you're afraid what everybody else's expectations upon you are. As soon as somebody asks something big of you or to better yourself, you're putting yourself in a very low tier box. Why? Why? I think black men have an innate fear of success and happiness. Black women have a fear of failure. Black men have a fear of success because you're afraid that much is given because you've never been trusted to what? To lead. You've never been trusted as somebody dependable. So once you put in that position, you have this innate ability to fuck it all up. Oh, I don't need. Why do I need to think about it? Black people will complain about their supervisors, but when it's time to become one and make a decision, they don't want to do it. You know, they just want to be a part of the clique that complains. They just want to be a part of the clique that complains. They don't want to be the solution. They just want to suffer just a little bit less. My girl treat me bad and, but I love her. It is not strong to stay in somewhere that is toxic. That ain't strength. If all you get is a bunch of headaches and stress from a chick, get the fuck away from her. You're not going to grow. She's not going to ever appreciate you. Because if she did, she would have respected you a long time ago. Respect costs literally nothing. No amount of time, no amount of effort for basic respect. Basic fucking respect. I don't get it. Basic respect should cost absolutely nothing. But as soon as you talk about that for black men, that's taboo. Why should you ask for respect? Why should we have to ask for respect? Why should we deserve it? I told you. If I was a psychologist, I would do a study on black men's psyche to show you how much of low self esteem you really suffer from. It's not funny. It's actually pretty fucking sad if you think about it. Yeah, pretty much. It's always Jermaine's fault. It's pretty much Jermaine's fault. Any man that goes through a bad deal and stays there, nigga, it's your fault. Especially when you know it's a bad deal, it's your fault. You have no one else to blame but yourself. If you choose to stay in a bad relationship, getting stressed out on ulcers, guess what? That's your fault. Don't don't blame anybody else but your goddamn self. You accepted that standard a long time ago. You told the world this is what I think I deserve. You put it out there in the universe. Person does not like you. Get over it. I think that's what black men, and I'm gonna do a show on this. Black men are really Homelander. Black men are Homelander, dude. Got all this power, got all these abilities, but deep down inside, you're just a weak ass little kid who wants the world to love and respect you. You crave it. You desire it. I want you to think about that. You're no different than Homelander on the Boys series. You got all these powers, but yet you crave all of this fucking love. You crave all this damn love. Instead of loving yourself first, at least do yourself a solid and do that. Well, well, chill. My mama didn't love me. So what? You're an adult now. Love yourself. You said, why would we be scared of her? Because you are. Yes, yes. I'm the Duke of Dastardly, the Sultan of Satire, the King of Faulknerdom. The anti-black misandry is off the chain. Yes, it is. Shout out to you and your new laptop. See, that's what happens when you support brothers. They get better equipment, and they're going to come up with more content to speak on your behalf. That's why you support Cash Apps, you support Super Chats. If you feel as though anything you get out of it is anything educational, entertaining, or just to pass the time by, at least support the dude. I've told a lot of people before on other people's platforms, if you have 20 to 30 something people and they all gave $5 a piece, you just you just you just motivated that content creator to speak more on your behalf because you never know who drops in. You got guys like Dr. T. Hassan Johnson who drops in, like Dr. Thunder who just now dropped in. Salute that brother for his full tenure, and Dr. T. You never know who's dropping in, listening to our message that can help us change policy. As soon as I talk about men's rights, and sometimes this is even with my closest friends and family, they look at me funny. Well, you shouldn't tell a woman what to do with her body, but a woman has a right to tell you to do what you want just because she had your child. Why don't you give the father the child? Well, mothers do better. Bullshit. Bullshit. Keep telling us this fucking lie, and I'll keep proving out the stats. Well, it's a patriarchy. It's a patriarchy. If it's so much of a patriarchy, who gets the kids? Mm, 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 mm. We don't want to talk about that, do we? So much of a goddamn patriarchy. Who gets the kids? If it's so much of a patriarchy, who gets the resources? Roadblock. Whoo, aka the Baltimorean. That's my superhero name, the Baltimorean. It's sad because every time people say it's a patriarchy, who gets the resources? Who gets the kids? Who gets the goddamn kids? Who gets the child support? Who gets the housing? If it's so much of a goddamn patriarchy, the biggest lie feminists ever told you was that they were oppressed. Biggest fucking lie. The biggest fucking lie they ever told you that they were oppressed. The saddest part about it is saddest part about it is that they won't tell you how much of an advantage they have over you because if they don't keep the lie going, it's not going to be cool. You can't complain about subjugation if you're subjugating people, right? You can't complain about how the patriarchy is taking over when you get all the benefits. I'm just saying, like, am I making sense, folks? It's hard to complain. It's hard to complain. Cry me a river if you are the one benefiting for everybody's mediocrity. I'll wait. You could never complain about you being subjugated if you're benefiting from black male mediocrity. Now, does anybody want to join the panel, or are we done for today? I'll put up there for a few minutes. It's kind of hard to say you're for family when you're too busy breaking them the fuck apart. Oh my gosh. It's kind of hard to say we want families if you're breaking them apart. Kind of hard to say that. What's up, Snowman?
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, blown and dandy.
You know, when you spoke of men's rights earlier and you posed the question if it's such a patriarchy, who gets all the benefits? Let me couple that with this question. If it's such a patriarchy, and I'm speaking directly to black women on this, and I dare them to find the lie with my next question. If it's such a patriarchy, how come how come men's families are basically told to die
Mm-hmm.
and that they're going to die?
To
You're
their
talking
face.
to you're talking to a man exactly to their face. 3 years ago, went through it.
To their face. You're told to die. Go pick a casket out. You're not worth saving.
Duke University Cancer Center. You know, and I got people. Oh, Charles, you're gonna love this one. I got people telling me, you should stop telling your story. We've heard it already. Not everybody's heard it.
You never know who needs to hear it.
Exactly. I did an interview today with someone, and I told them everything I've been through in the last 3 years, and he looked me in the screen and went, "Holy shit! How'd you get through that?" My wife, among other reasons.
You got to think, black men are not that far off of the suicide chart. If
No, we're not.
anything, we are very highly susceptible to that shit, if you really want to be honest.
And you know why they're susceptible to it? Because of people telling them you're not worth saving. Because of people telling black men, you're not worth society's air. You know why I jump on this path? Well, you already know why, and some of the folks in the chat already know why. And to the folks who are here for the first time, you know why I jump on this panel and talk to you and the others so many times, and why I put my cash app out there so many times. Simply put, someone needs to hear my story, and I need the fucking help.
Yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be a space about helping black men, but as soon as a black man said, I need help, we question him.
I'm called weak.
You're questioning him. But yet, certain people could build a school for like 15 years and never build it.
And never
No
build the
question.
motherfucker. Exactly. I hate seeing the exhaustion on my wife's face when she comes in after a long day. She got up at 6:30. She got up at 6 this morning, was out the door by 6:45. She comes in with my daughter and they're both beat up.
Think about it. You literally had parts of your intestines, internal organs taken out,
Mm-hmm.
His
toes,
pancreas especially.
toes,
Yes.
Kidney was it?
Yeah.
toes amputated.
Yep. My right big toe gone. And yet, if I don't talk about the drama that's going on in the world, if I just stick to my wheelhouse, which is sports, as y'all know, and this is nothing against the people that get the support that talk about what's going on in the world. I can only talk about what I know and what I know very well,
Yep.
and what I follow very well. And you guys have heard me pose this question so many times over. I will pose it again. How come a guy that talks sports and knows what the hell he's talking about can't get the same damn support as some of these? And I'm leaving everybody in the chat and on this panel out of this equation. And for my next question, how come people that talk about life and skew it in their own way get all the goddamn support? Meanwhile, I just throw facts and figures out there. I add my own funny opinion. I have fun with what I do 5 days a week. And yet I'm being told by the state of Indiana to go back to work, and I got to put my projects, and they're called projects and hobbies, on the fucking back burner again.
They don't give a fuck about you and your well-being, black man. At the end of the day, you are considered a beast of burden. You've been considered that ever since your forefathers were brought to these goddamn shores on
Yep.
spaceships
Yep.
because you were nothing more than a commodity. And by the way, here's my question. Black men in America were considered 3/5 of a man. Are you still considered 3/5 of a man, or are you now a complete man? What the
Yeah,
fuck is that type of?
What the
if you
fuck?
want to, if you want to ask America, when it comes to account,
Oh, lost him.
but when it comes
Charles,
to respect, but when it comes to respect, you're not even 3/4. You're like 5/8.
That's true. Here's another thing I'll mention. The whole thing about, do it yourself and everything. H. Rap Brown, the man formerly known as H. Rap Brown, he had a speech called Rugged Individualism versus Collectivism, in which you are part of a collective, and because black men are part of the out group, and this applies to my situation, living where I am. You are part of an out group, and as part of an out group, you're only seen as part of that group, not as an individual. So that's why whenever somebody black does something wrong, they always got to look at you and everybody else like, because you're the representative of that group. They never want to see you as an individual. But white people, because they're the majority, they like to say, "Oh, no, I'm an individual in this," but you're part of a collective. It's a type of gaslighting they do.
It is.
And it's a form of gaslighting that those in high society use on the lower classes to convince them. What was it LBJ said about poor whites? All you got to do is convince them they're better than one group and they'll keep voting Democrat. That fucking Dixiecrat. But he was not wrong. He wasn't.
He was nowhere near
in
wrong.
fact, I remember in a speech. I watched a speech by what's his name? It's James Baldwin. He said this. This was in college. He was addressing in college. He said, white people know the struggles of black people. You know how they know? Because no one of them want to be us. Everybody wants to be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga, as Paul Mooney once said.
It's the truth. I get the most.
And our humanity is nothing.
I still get the most stares in my neighborhood, and we live out in the country. Take a guess as to why.
Well, you are in Indiana. What does that tell you?
I'm barely getting my leg strength back. And I never thought I would have to speak on this again, but I'm going to, and people are just going to have to be mad at me for speaking my truth. And here it is. I'm still getting shit from the family. And I'll give you all a fundamental guess as to why.
It has everything to do with the fact that you're black and disabled?
Because you're a black man.
Ding, 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 the fuck ding. Ding, the fuck ding.
A black man has no rights the rest of the world has to adhere to. You have no
rights, but all the accountability. No rights, but all the accountability.
I can't even get my father-in-law to speak to me. All he does is speak through me to get to either my daughter or my wife. And I sat in the car today. I got home this morning from picking up my daughter early, like 10 after 9. And y'all know I go on at 10 in the morning. I sat in my car and I talked to Cole Johnson for 75 minutes.
Yeah.
I talked to Cole for 75 minutes because there was so much on my chest and on my heart. And if anybody knows how my content has been lately, and I told Cole, I hope now you understand why it has been that way, and the people here understand why I'm a mod on a lot of people's panels, because I offer something to the conversation, but I'm also trying to get help.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get help in any and every way I can. And all I've been getting lately saved from BGS, and y'all have been fucking trolls. And I know the
It
joke
comes with the
is,
territory. It
I
comes with
know,
the territory, Brian.
I know, but this is a time for me of dire need. This is a time for me of dire need, and I'm trying to help my family as best I can. But save everybody here in the chat and here on the panel. Motherfuckers don't believe what I've been through. I have organs missing. They ain't coming back. I've been in a wheelchair for almost 7 months. It's going to take me 6 to get my strength back in my legs, just to stretch out the muscles in my legs near my groin where everything is as tight as a damn fist. And I can't walk correctly. I have put on 40 pounds sitting in this damn chair, stress eating, emotional eating, any and everything.
Oh yeah, that will do it. That will do it. Stress eating, emotional eating.
I was at 245 pounds and I was in very optimal shape a year and a half ago. The liver problem happened and then I lost my toe and I've been forced to sit in a fucking chair.
Wait, liver problem? Okay, this I didn't know.
Liver problem. I had stage 3 liver failure. Had being the operative word.
How's it doing right now? How's your liver right now?
Better. But I can't say I can't stress enough, why I put the hashtag Snow Strong Foundation, because I'm trying to build one for my damn family. The state of Indiana has given me the finger.
You're in Indiana.
Matter of fact,
there's a I'm sorry to interrupt, Charlie.
Go for it.
There's a gentleman I game with from time to time. I meet up and we game a lot on PS3. Lives in the state of Indiana, and he's a veteran. Served 4 years in the Navy. I did not mention you by name, but I did mention your story to him because he talks about how he, though in his 60s, is finally getting help from the VA while in Indiana. But he talks about how much the state is kind of fucked him over. And we were talking about how the VA does it, how it fucks over veterans. And I explained, hell, I have a friend who's a civilian, similar shit he's been going through. And he understands, the state of Indiana is just ass backwards in a motherfucker. I mean, he talks about a lot of things, health, cell phone coverage, and technology is ass backward.
Yep, I've been turned down twice. I've been turned down twice.
Meanwhile, Alejandro gets to walk across here illegally and get debit cards with thousands of fucking dollars, cash, food stamps, housing, medical assistance, the whole fucking nine.
And I can't get fucking Medicaid or Medicare.
That's bullshit.
Well, I was supposed to get a call about that, and then they found out that my wife's job's insurance. I'm on her insurance. Well, you don't need Medicaid or Medicare. Click.
And it just goes to show how fucked up the whole insurance system is in this country. I remember years ago, I had ran into some money. And this was before my son was living with me. And I called up John Hopkins one day, and I wanted to make an appointment because I knew he needed to get glasses, and his sorry ass mother would never do it.
Yeah.
So I'm on the phone with the woman, and I'm like, yeah, I just want to make an appointment, yada yada. She's like, well, do you have insurance? I said, no, I'm going to pay out of pocket. Don't worry about it. I'll pay y'all before I even leave the facility.
Right.
Then she asked, does he have medical assistance? I said, well, yeah, on, his mother. I said, but, I'm not even on speaking terms with his mother. I said, that's why I'm doing it. Do you know John Hopkins told me that they wouldn't accept my cash?
Wow. You got to be kidding me. Wow.
They absolutely would not accept my fucking cash.
What type of retarded shit is this?
Man.
I mean, what did Elongo Savage just say in the chat? Black men are expected to play fair at all times in a game they know is designed for them to finish dead last in, while all the other participants get to cheat to varying degrees. Ain't that the truth?
And this is for everybody who always wants to wag their fucking finger at black men. Hey, black men, you need to take care of yourselves. Hey, black men, you need to go to the fucking doctors. It costs fucking money.
Yeah,
because we don't get medical assistance.
No.
It's different when you got medical assistance, asshole.
You know the only time that a black man will get medical assistance, and I've been through this, when they're in a fucking mental ward. I went through that in 2017 up in Michigan. I went through that up in 2017 up in Michigan City. And the only reason I got assistance is because the goddamn state paid for it. After someone said, listen, I've said this on the diary, I'll say it here. Something can be said to a black man who's going through depression and anxiety, and something about him will be brought up, and that would be the final straw. That would be the straw that breaks the camel's back. When it happened to me 7 years ago, right around my birthday, as a matter of fact, when it happened to me, the person that the person said to me after I was told something that was false about Donna, my daughter, the person said to me, I know you've hit rock bottom. And I flipped out. I screamed out loud, how the fuck would you know about hitting rock bottom? Yeah, guess who wound up in the back of a goddamn police car?
You.
Without even an explanation as to why I wound up in the back of a police car and on the 7th floor of Michigan City Hospital. All my
that's
clothes.
The brother said, can y'all hear me clearly?
Yeah, we got you. We got you, brother. You sound great.
Yeah, but as the brother said, people. Oh, go ahead.
All of my clothes were taken from me. My phone was taken from me. I couldn't touch my laptop. I couldn't touch my broadcast equipment. Every game I had planned to do that week, right out the fucking window. And I didn't get out until 2 days after my birthday, when they just kicked me out of the hospital. They released me, quote unquote, with my bags and nowhere to go.
On your own recognizance, as they would say. You were set up.
But as the brother said a while ago, people, it drives me crazy. Like, how come black men don't go to the hospital? If you're not going to pay for it, shut the fuck up.
Period.
I can't be trusted with certain things. I mean, I've been in a psych ward. I checked in on my own.
Take that
$200
bill they sent you. If you're not going to take the $200 bill they send you, shut up.
Shut the fuck up. Exactly. You know, my wife is still paying all the bills I accrued when we were in North Carolina. If y'all only knew how bad I want to help my family. Anyone who's listened to the diary knows that there are two things you can do to hurt a man to the core. You take away his family, or you take away the ability for him to help his family. And I've had one taken from me. And I damn near had the other taken from me after a suggestion from an in-law family member, which is for Jody to kick me and Sonia out of the house because they felt we were being fucking lazy.
What did Sonia ever do to them? What did Sonia ever do to deserve that kind of treatment from them?
I don't know. And
medical
Sonia
bills are the number one reason for bankruptcies in this country.
And Sonia alerted me to something that is so very true. I want y'all to think about this. If I respond to my in-laws and go completely off in protecting my wife,
they win.
Yep. And meanwhile, if I don't go completely the fuck off and keep taking the high road, guess what?
You win.
Nope, they do. Because it proves two tropes are being proved at the same time. If I go completely off, I'm just as basic as it gets, and I'm no good for their daughter. If I keep taking the high road, I'm a coward. And I'm not willing to defend my wife. Which y'all know is bullshit.
Damned if you don't.
Exactly.
It's a damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. This is the type of game they're trying to play, and you have to take yourself out of that situation, basically. And I'm not saying, like, leave your wife or something like that. I mean, like,
right.
Y'all need to get the fuck out of that situation.
Are we ever trying? My God, are we ever trying?
And truly, because your wife has mental health issues as well. She's mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Understand that you look at her family and you're probably wondering, oh, now I see why she's so affected in such a way.
Yeah, we had to talk about that. We had to talk about that on Sunday. She gets major depression twice a year, winter and summer.
Same here. No, I know what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
Not fun.
And then me letting myself go and not helping around the house and not doing what I'm supposed to do or need to do because I'm in the midst of a depression myself. Still no excuse. I didn't find a way to fight through it. When we sat down and had that talk, we both did. We both fought through it.
See? Who says couples can't do things together? Snowman?
I'm here.
Okay, for a minute you got quiet.
No. I'm just trying not to cry.
Yeah, I figured. I'm like,
because of everything that's going on. And
sometimes it's okay to cry. You need to get that stress out, so one way or another. Otherwise, it's going to eat you up.
But again, I just asked the question: why the fuck don't people lately believe what the fuck I'm going through, even when I show proof?
Because people don't really care about what you're going through. Nobody. You got to understand one thing also. We're all, as BGS would say, we are in interesting times, are we not?
Yes, we are.
I can tell you, in times of tribulations, you can see either the best or the worst come out in people.
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, I have seen the worst.
So have I.
I have seen.
So have I.
I mean, if you grew up in the third world, I can tell you, man, you in times of struggle, in times of strife, we all will undercut one another if it means helping ourselves and our families. There is no cohesion, like some people like to say, or it's just virtue signaling or pretentious cohesion, where there is a payoff,
Mm-hmm.
or you hold, or you rely, or you have something over each other. And sometimes you gotta you understand that. I mean, it didn't get that bad, but I mean, I remember like try living in an area in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
This is Eritrea, 2005. We're in the midst of a fucking drought in the central and southern highlands of Eritrea because the summertime is the wet season. And then we're dealing with water shortages. And this is in the capital. So people were talking, what the fuck is going on? It's hot this day, everything's. We had to wait until August till it rained. In fact, I remember the day it rained. August 5th, 2005. Once the rains came, you saw a change in attitude in everybody because it just came pouring down and everything. And hell, you forget when you got to deal with if you want the rain, you got to deal with the mud. And we dealt with some mud, we dealt with some hailstorms, but just the relief.
Yeah.
But in that time, just water shortages and everybody struggling, people scared. I remember when there was a political crisis and everybody looked at each other, was scared to talk to one another about certain things because they did not know if they could trust you or you could be an informant and such like that. You see the worst come out in people in times like that. And right now, we're all in a stagflation. That's why it's hard. People not helping you. I understand. And nobody wants to help anybody, And you're in the state of Indiana, like I said, it's ass fucking backwards in Indiana.
To say the least, it's ass backwards.
And it's designed that way for a reason.
It is.
Not to mention, I mean, AD can tell you. I mean, it's clan country. Everybody talks about this racism in the South, but in the Midwest,
man,
there are more sunset towns in the Midwest than in the South.
I lived in Jody and I lived in Terre Haute for almost a year. We lived in a small town, Henderson, North Carolina, for 2 years.
Not welcome, were they?
No, not at all. We're going to find our own piece of heaven and build our own piece of heaven. but the support group has started to dwindle, and it's pissing me off. It's
I'm not.
royally and emphatically pissing me off that a man who has been through hell and high water, putting his body in jeopardy, and is trying to get back on his feet so he can support his family.
Mm-hmm. He's getting the shaft right now.
Yep. They see me in front of this. They see me in front of this microphone, and they think, "Oh, he's got it easy." Not knowing the fact that I'm in a goddamn wheelchair. Not knowing the fact I have to be in a wheelchair for the time being until my podiatrist releases me. Not knowing the fact that I got to take off 30 pounds at the very least because I put it on stress eating and emotional eating. Because when I see the exhaustion on my wife's face and on my daughter's face,
yeah,
I sit here and think I'm not doing anything, and I want to do something, but I physically right now can't.
You feel inadequate. You feel like you're defeated.
Yes.
Yusuf Salam. Does that name ring a bell to anybody? Yusuf Salam.
Vaguely.
The Central Park Five. He was one of the Central Park Five.
Yeah.
I remember there was a Netflix series that Ava DuVernay did about them on the 30th anniversary of the case called When They See Us. And there was another, then afterwards there was then they had like an open panel discussion that Oprah hosted with all the cast and everybody. And then they had the original five. And Salam said something interesting. And it talked about, and this was in reference to fellow Central Park Five member Antoine McCrae's late father, Bobby. When a man feels like he cannot help himself, protect his family, or provide for his family, he thinks he's a failure.
Yep. And I felt that way for 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah. You don't know. I mean, men feel inadequate when they think they cannot. And sometimes it makes them do rash things. Because you get so emotionally caught up. And yeah, I can see you, like you said, you're emotionally eating. We're forgetting that we do need a means of relieving stress and get that out of our system so we can think clearly. Because when you get emotional about this shit, because a lot of shit will make you emotional. Men have emotions. We're just not taught how to deal with our emotions in a very constructive and healthy way. Me, I've done some emotional eating when I get depressed. I admit it. It's not fun. But as a defense mechanism, sometimes I'll just try to sleep. I will purposely go to sleep. Because I understand if I'm asleep.
That's my defense also. I'm either watching sports or I go to sleep.
And I have to do that because if I'm awake, I'm probably going to be. If I'm awake, I'm miss out. Or I just take a good long dump, which helps, and drink a lot of water.
So I'm drinking a lot of water now.
Yeah, drinking a lot of water because that'll keep your.
Yep, and I know lately I've cut back on the caffeine, thank the Lord, but it's still increased from what I was taking in before. Hell, I was off the caffeine for a year and a half before everything happened. I was off the caffeine. My wife got me hooked on water flavorings and other means to not drink caffeine and not take in a lot of sugar. But in the last 3 years, especially in the past 7 months, I know it's been crazy. I know what I've taken in has been crazy. I don't even have to talk to my doctor about that. I let it all. The last time I saw my doctor, I let it all loose.
Can I ask you a question?
Talk to me.
Since we're talking about your health, what about your blood sugar? You are a type 2 diabetic after all.
I am indeed.
How's the blood sugar right now?
It's at a good level.
Yeah, I've met other type 2 diabetics, so I always ask them about that stuff. But like some of them, they understand what they're doing because I've met a couple and they talk about like how much the doctors tell them you got to do this, do that just to get down to optimum level, and sometimes they just don't give a fuck,
Right.
They're okay. They're content where they are, or they just don't want to. Especially when they get older and such, and you get content. But then again, I've got an uncle who's a type 1 diabetic. That scares the hell out of me. I've seen type 2 diabetes just rampage through my father's generation. Some guys getting amputations because as a result and shit because they did not take care of themselves.
Right.
And everything. So that scares the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give up that caffeine. What made me give up caffeine about a decade ago was when I read an article that says it's not good for people with anxiety and depression, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get off that.
I need to kill it cold. I need to kill it cold turkey.
Yeah.
End of story. I need to kill it cold turkey. Charles, if you're there, I'd like to ask a favor.
I think Charles got to take care of something. Hang on, give me a minute.
Yeah, I'll ask when he gets back because you mentioned a challenge that if people really support black male content creators and they hear them online, they can do it by just dropping a few bucks every time they're on. I want to put that challenge out there tonight, right now.
Yeah.
I want to put that challenge out there right now.
Put it out there, man.
I'm gonna put my Cash App in the chat, and I challenge anyone who believes in me and what I'm doing to help a snowman out. Period. Because not being able to help my family it's beyond pissing me off. And being told by the state of Indiana that I can just go back to work.
Get the absolute fuck out of here with that bullshit.
I'm not. Look, I brought my wheelchair. I had my orientation Monday, day off today. It hasn't felt right that I haven't been able to do my show because it's become such a routine to me, and it's so much fun to me being on in the mornings. And I brought my wheelchair to work. I drove in, and it was shitty. Let me just say it real. It was shitty. Having to pull my wheelchair out of the trunk, and I know it's necessary. Trust me, I know it's necessary. And I got to use this wheelchair for as long as I can until I'm medically cleared by my podiatrist. I have to be medically cleared because I asked him Friday when I was in wound care. I said, "Do you recommend I stay in the wheelchair?" And he said that he said, quote, "I would for now until you're completely healed." And I'm not completely healed yet.
That tells you everything you need to know. I mean,
and one other thing people forgot with the caffeine, because we don't know what's in the caffeine, they use refined sugars. The one deadliest sugar of all, people don't know this, and neighbors know this because I'm not sure they have it in your country, is high corn fructose.
Yeah.
People don't know that when they developed that, that's what increased the sugar problems in America for the last 30 or more years.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the videos on, they said that alone is in every food if you don't read the instructions properly. So the deliberate with the economy is make you pick evil, not lesser two evils. I don't understand that.
Poison.
You're gonna pick poison. You can choose poison, and that's final. You get me? So, like I said, for people that have the serious health complications, especially rare range diabetes or you have organ failures, and like always, Brian Snowman, you could, if you came my channel, I would have gave simple suggestions, but that's optional. But usually, and these things not afforded. These are things you could do time being while to try to see if they affect the to speed any recovery. It's not permanent, but at times, but it's usually lifestyle is the more give factor because usually when you have these avenues and failures of the body right now.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do right now of any person is if you're not fasting as a person, you better start developing now. Especially you don't have a certain discipline of weighing off the poisons.
Yeah, my discipline. I know my discipline's been terrible, and a lot of that has been emotional.
And I'm saying, besides the emotional, you have to somehow I'm not saying complete control, but you have to regulate it, because you're going to be the impact that's going to keep you alive, or you're going to be gone. You get me? But remember, the stresses are put here to the detriment of black men to the point that you'll run yourself to early grave quicker, and they love and thrive it. Why I think with the aid and all stuff, we can go to doctor, which is important. Also, they don't give much help with black people's perspective, man, because they want you to be in the early grave as fast as possible. We'll use your labor if you can't. We're gonna put you in the grave as fast because we don't want to pay you. They're not in business paying niggas. They work hard to avoid paying niggas. Which y'all know.
Yeah. But when we talked about it earlier, when a man can't help his family, he feels very inadequate, and he starts to believe, and I did for a while until this morning when I let it all out, that I was being lazy. I'm just
frustrated,
to say the least.
So, man,
I'm listening.
I got some words of advice. How do you feel worthless if you're not helping?
It's innate, because I saw my dad help us. I saw my dad not only contribute, but basically financially take care of the family, because both my dad and my mom worked, but dad put the whole puzzle together, and I saw him do it for years until he just physically couldn't anymore because of the cancer.
He was suffering for.
So it's mostly the physical part you feel like you can't help. That's what's really getting. There's other ways you can help your wife without breaking your body right now.
I know.
And I feel useless. Keep focused on that. Stop. Whatever little help you could do, advice that towards your wife, she's going to appreciate it. Focus on that. That's all you need to appreciate. Like, number one, okay, she's the breadwinner right now. She know that you can't hardly bring in much bread. But what you could do is teach her to double her income. She will value you 3 times more behind that. They said some marriage couples, when sometimes the woman makes more money, but the man managed the money.
Yeah.
So find ways to, double your wife's income, but she will bring home the income that way. She will value behind that. That's helping her. You don't have to do an extra, but you figure out ideas how to double that. She loves you more behind that. She appreciates you behind that. And it's not going to be so crazy, because you know what? You're doing extra work. Not everything is on like that. You know what I'm saying? For men, because you can't do it right now. No. But that doesn't mean you're useless. You are not useless, man.
Yeah. No. Consider that our man here is in Indiana.
So I don't care where he's at, bro. I don't care. No. Don't use that as an excuse.
I'm not saying it like that.
Bro, no, I'm not.
Hold on. Now, what's going on?
I'm sorry.
Now,
what?
Number one, I don't care where you're from or whatever. You know the most dangerous man, especially a black man, that people could fear?
One who has nothing.
As the great character of Brother Muzone from The Wire always says, a nigga with a library card. When you have knowledge of certain things, that makes you the most fearsome man on earth. When you feel knowledge of certain things, it doesn't matter where you're from. You can always adapt anywhere, no matter what.
That's not what I was going with. That's not what I said.
Well, the point is, it is what it is.
Yeah, but
especially in the age we live in now with technology, you ain't got to go out and make money like that.
No, you're not hearing me. I hear what you're saying, but can you hear me out for a minute?
What do you want to talk about?
We gotta understand the battlefield we're in and what you.
Okay. Now I don't want to get no more. That's why I cut you off.
Hold on, Mel. Hold on. You got to give him his chance to talk, Mel.
You know what, guys? I'm sorry I brought it up.
No. Don't be sad.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you need some encouragement and everything.
It's not.
I'm just saying.
I understand that. We as men see ourselves as useful.
Yeah.
But sometimes we're so caught up in the physical, we have to also believe that we also are useful mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Exactly.
And let's just say it. What's more important? You getting your body better right now, or putting yourself through whatever you need to get your body up to speed, or stressing about money that's going to take you out of here a lot sooner?
The former.
I just
That's more
want to get
important. You need
I
to
just
get
want to
yourself
get my
back on your
body
feet.
together at the very least. I just want to get my
You're
body
gonna,
back together.
you're
Put
gonna get
yourself.
it. You're gonna get your body together, Snowman. I promise you that. But what you need to do is never think that you're not contributing. You being alive is contributing more than you think.
Exactly.
What would happen to your wife and your kids if you passed?
True. Good point.
What would happen to all of us if you passed? Yeah, just every day, right now, we will each help you as much as we can. But what we want you to do is focus on becoming a better, stronger physical you.
That's what I need.
And it
I need to
starts
get
off with the
I need to get
spirit.
my strength back.
It
I need
starts
to
And
off
get
you're
my
gonna
strength
and
back.
guess what? Every day is a better day to get stronger.
exactly.
Is it a process? Hell yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But
I got
but you
physical
got
therapy tomorrow, and I'm so excited for it.
but this is the problem I tell black men. Sometimes you gotta enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna enjoy it tomorrow when I go to when I go to physical therapy.
Because once you out the journey, you got a hell of a story to tell.
Exactly.
You know what? You know my doctor was pissed off that no one scheduled me for PT when I got out of surgery. No one. But I had a little bit of physical therapy while I was in the hospital when I got out of ICU, but nothing since then.
You know what doctors
And
hate also too? Oh
my
God.
wife got a little pissed off too that no one suggested I go to physical therapy.
You know what doctors also hate too? When you
What's
perform
that?
miracles that they can't even explain. Chaos Rain gave it one of the biggest knowledge you could look up. I think I'm about to say those two. Look up holistic medicine of remedies, your nutrition. The cure's in the food and stuff.
Hmm.
Nutrition's in the food. There's a lot of holistic books out there like crazy. You can look up that can change your
Shoot, every
situation.
food in America is poisonous, basically.
That's the truth.
Well, you gonna spend your time being afraid to eat?
No, no, no.
Exactly.
No, I'm
So
not saying. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general. It's just like I
It
lived
just
outside
seems
the
that way.
country and
I
I
know
lost a
it's
lot of
not.
weight for a
I
little bit.
know it's not
Corn
that it's not
syrup.
true, but it just seems that way.
yeah, I know, but even still, yeah, you can still get some healthy alternative
Oh yeah.
foods. Don't be afraid of food. Don't take what everybody say online that's fear based too much because you know they always selling the product after that too.
Yeah.
Don't get this because got this and everything. It's not even true. You got people debunking that every day too. And at the end of that
What
videos you
about
see
healthier
short videos,
alternatives?
they selling the product to try to so they can make money. So it's like, you know how many books I got? That I listed?
I'm
Oh,
throwing
I got
that ship
one from
off. I'm
TikTok
throwing that
shop.
ship off
Well,
my shoulder. And thank you,
also,
Charles, for this short that for this video. I'm throwing that ship off of my shoulder because I'm
exactly.
done.
Stop thinking you're less than and start thinking more than.
Mm-hmm.
If you learn anything about me, everybody's going through a struggle. Some physical, some mental, some emotional, some spiritual.
Yep.
Maybe three, maybe two, maybe all four. And
Shit,
guess
you're a
what?
black man.
Well,
You're
guess
gonna go
what?
through one of them.
It's not all of them. But guess what? All you got to do is take one step. And what's the best way to get off your feet? To get on your feet? Get
Just
off
to get
your ass.
off your ass.
Mm-hmm. What they say? The
That
first
quarantine
21
can't get off
days.
his ass.
I'm
First
in
21
therapy.
days. You see the
I'm in
process.
therapy twice a week. I'm killing
And
the caffeine habit beginning tomorrow. I've tossed out all the coffee I had in the house and
Good
the
move.
creamers and everything.
if you feel
They're
as though
all
you're
gone.
gonna have, if you feel as though you're gonna have urges to eat, Eat fruit or eat a salad.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
nuts.
absolutely. Like, why don't you try to get into cybersecurity or something? Like, go hit up Theo. So just in case, this would be a chance to make some money and all that other stuff. Like,
Yeah,
so
I
you don't
need
have to
to.
get your feet too much.
There's a couple friends I can hit up and doing that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna reach out to one of them now and
That's
see how
good.
they
Let me ask you something. So, man, do y'all keep your money in the regular savings account?
Yes.
Don't do that. Put it in high yield savings. That's how you make your money right there. Because the interest rate, they pay twice as much more. The APR rate
Can you
is at
explain that?
4 point. All right, let's say, for example, like in regular banks, the APR rate, rate, we got like 0.03, something like that. So your interest.
Did you consult an accountant and did you ask about that?
Huh?
You're saying get a high yielding account, but I'm saying
high yield savings.
High yield savings.
You know about that?
Varies. Let me get to that.
Do you know about that? Yes or no?
A little bit, but what am I saying is
I know about a little bit more than you because I'm actually doing it. So let me explain. So sit back.
All right.
All right. Now I use Marcus. Their higher interest rate pay at 4.40. So let's say, example, you have $10,000 in the bank, in that saving bank. That APR, the interest on that, they're gonna pay you like $400 or $500 over $10,000. Your money's making money for you per year. That's one of the ways you definitely make money right there and stuff like that. You gotta think about sometimes how the rich do it, and they don't use regular savings accounts like average Joes like us do. Knowledge is out there.
Here's my question. Shouldn't he also be asking, he should be checking which banks have the best offers, which banks have the best rates?
Yeah, do your research. Not yet. Some is at 4.25, some is at 5.25.
Right.
Yeah.
And now what that is sometimes even if that's someone at 5.25, that doesn't mean to make it the best bank because you got to also consider, okay, what is their customer service and everything when I need to contact them. Some of them do got shitty customer service. Some of them like when you want to take money out, it takes a couple of days, how fast it is and everything if you want to withdraw from it. But find out which one you could compare to and everything. My recommendation is you could do Marcus. That's why I use Marcus from Goldman Sachs. And I just signed up with Amex. They got one and stuff. The other one is UFC Direct and stuff. Like use Nerd Wallet, that website Nerd Wallet. They give you a comparison of different high yield savings accounts to use. Ooh, man. And then you can do your comparison there. They give you the top few ones, and then you can do your comparisons from there. And like I said, we got YouTube. We got people that's actually using it to teach you finances also too. That have their recommendations. You can do your diligence. The main thing, use high yield savings accounts. Don't use regular savings accounts.
Snowman?
Yeah, I'm here.
Excuse me, Snowman?
Yeah.
Could you pass? I just sent you something on Messenger. Could you please pass that on to Charles for me? It's something for him.
I'll do it now.
It's on Facebook Messenger. Oh, by the way, like what Mel said about customer service, find out what the websites and the online services for each bank is like, because I know in Indiana, like I said, it's ass backwards with their internet and everything.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure the online services could be shitty depending on the bank.
Well, I'm asking around because I know a few people who got it, and a few people got it. And Chaos, thank you for the suggestion. I'm going to jump all over it just to see what happens.
About to go for the
isn't the best part about this online cybersecurity thing? You could do it anywhere and work for basically anyone. So
yeah,
I'm just thinking like what's best for you is basically you getting in shape, getting yourself too, but you can also try to study and get this thing on the side and try to get the job. And like I said, hit up Theo.
Yeah.
If anybody got Theo's information, if BGS is going live today or Friday, or just hit up BGS, he can give you Theo's information.
Okay.
Yeah.
See what you can do for classes.
Okay. Would you give me a promo real quick, Charles? Because I got to go get a nap before I take my daughter to work. And I'll say it again: if anybody can help, please do. We need it right now, bad.
Hey, got to go to my man Snowman. When the next time you doing a diary?
Tomorrow night,
What time?
9:00.
9 o'clock. Hey, go to the Snowman channel for your sports in the morning at 9 p.m. Remember, he's gonna have a diary of a black snowman, and he's gonna give you some of the
Angry
real
snowman.
black and angry shit. Which one? What's the difference?
Point taken. Point taken.
Yeah, yeah. If you're a black male in America, you're born angry.
So
So
true.
go out there, support the show. Anybody who needs to hear a story of triumph and a little bit of tribulations, guess what? Go to the Snowman. He's going to give you the skinny. But if you want some sports in the morning, instead of listening to the people who are biased, go listen to the guy who listens to the sports at the Red Pill Lens. Snowman in the morning. Whew. Anybody got any last thoughts before I go to this team meeting for this Black Line Security meeting?
Thank you. Thank you
Y'all
guys
ain't shit,
for
and
everything.
God bless y'all for it.
I try
I
not
just
to
want to
be.
say, y'all ain't
Bless out
shit, and
here,
God bless
everybody.
her.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, Charles,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say one thing.
Yep.
Damn you, Charles Faulkner Jr. and that thumbnail of Bria Miles. You have no idea how blue my balls are now. God damn it! Oi, oi!
Well,
Oh
looking at the
shit!
picture, they may go back to normal. Shit.
Look at no. See the reason my balls are blue. I'm like worse than that Richard Pryor joke. All I need now is my dad trying to whoop my ass. Can I check off first? Done.
Anybody else?
Anybody else got any closing remarks? Because I'll put the link and I'm gonna do my stream. What time is it now? 9:00. In like 5 minutes, I'll start. I have a stream up. Very interesting stream, though. So I put in the chat room for those that want to. No, I doubt it, but I do it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Z's streaming right now.
Oh, that's good. I'll be streaming probably a little longer because I'm not sure if he's gonna do 2 hours. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta go. Well, I gotta jack him to his car, so I'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
Take
Everybody, we are out. Woo! Thank you for coming.